And so the crows can tell us all these lies, try to hold us back, but we are the ones who choose to believe their lies or not. And so like Christ, we may say, get behind me, Satan, or get behind me, crows, that I'm going to find my freedom. I'm going to experience the fullness of what God has for me, and I'm not going to accept your limited interpretation of how things should be. Our friends like Dorothy speaking truth and freedom into our souls? Or are they like the crows who want us to stay stuck in their own limited understanding of how life should be? It's been said, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. But I say, show me your crows and I'll show you what's keeping you from it. Some voices lift us up, but others hold us down. They keep us stuck, much like the crows did in the musical The Wizard of Oz with the Scarecrow. That we don't know how long the Scarecrow was standing on that pole, but we know that he was not trapped. They were not physically keeping him there, but it was their words that held him there, and his belief in their words that held him there. They had him sing the Crow Anthem, which says, you can't win, you can't break even, you can't even get out of the game. Though some people will say things will change, in the end they simply remain the same. And those words, while the song itself is catchy, are like poison when we believe them. When we believe that our situation can never change, then we become stuck like that Scarecrow. And they were not necessarily being mean or malicious toward the Scarecrow. They were simply trying to get him to adopt their own worldview, their own limited worldview. They believed that nothing would change, and so they wanted the Scarecrow to believe the same. And many of our friends and family and co-workers might be the same. There might be the crows in our life who, again, are not intentionally being mean or vindictive or malicious toward us, but simply want us to adopt their own limited mindset. And so when we dream, they may tell us that we're getting too big for our britches, as it were. And so we have an ideal at work, and we're told that that will never work. We have a dream to start our own business, and we're told that that's unrealistic. Whatever our dream, whatever our hope is, to find freedom, the crows in our life try to hold us back to their own limited understanding of how things should be. And much like the Scarecrow, there's nothing actually holding us back. There's nothing physically or objectively holding us back from finding more freedom. It's simply our own prison of our own making by our own limited thoughts. And in this way, the Crow Anthem is correct that we have no one to blame but ourselves. And so the crows can tell us all these lies, try to hold us back, but we are the ones who choose to believe their lies or not. It takes a lot of courage to identify the crows in our life, particularly when they're the ones closest to us and who otherwise love us very deeply. But this is an example that Christ himself set. When Peter told him that he was not to go to the cross, Christ said, get behind me, Satan, because you're mindful of the things of man and not the things of God. And so in the same way, we have to identify the crows in our life that they might be well-meaning from a human standpoint and wanting what's best for us, but they're seeing things from a human perspective, a limited human perspective, and not from the perspective of God. And so like Christ, we may say, get behind me, Satan, or get behind me, crows, that I'm going to find my freedom. I'm going to experience the fullness of what God has for me, and I'm not going to accept your limited interpretation of how things should be. For the Scarecrow, it took Dorothy for him to realize what was actually true. And a lot of my work with men is to play that similar role, to help them to discern the different voices in their life, what is the lie and what is true, to help them to rediscover the freedom, the power, the love that they actually already possess, but have forgotten because they're choosing to believe the lies of the crows, that they have neglected their own freedom, they've neglected their own power, they've neglected their own ability to love deeply and passionately because they're believing the crows in their life that they don't have what it takes, that they need to simply settle with the limited view that others have, the status quo, rather than accepting the fullness of life and beauty and goodness that God has to offer. And so often we have to take inventory of those around us. Our friends like Dorothy speaking truth and freedom into our souls? Or are they like the crows who want us to stay stuck in their own limited understanding of how life should be? Who are the crows in your life? And what is that Crow Anthem that they have you singing, telling yourself time and time again that you can't win? You need to identify your crows, reject the lies that they're telling, and then find your trusted others that allow you to ease on down the road in freedom and power and grace and love that God has intended. If this resonates with you, then like and subscribe and share with other men who might also need to identify the crows in their life. And then check out this next video on why we must let go of who we were in order to become who we were meant to be. Check that out here.